On this week's show, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is finally here. To celebrate our Iga-mania, we welcome back Roberto Piraino of 505 Games to discuss the long-awaited Castlevania successor. Spiritual successor, that is. Also, E3 2019 is over. It came and went faster than a blue shell blast in the ass. We go over the highlights and notable takeaways from this year's E3 Direct. Spoiler alert, Nintendo sort of crushed it. This is Nintendo Dual Screens episode 103. Everybody, welcome to Nintendo Dual Screens, episode 103 for the week of June 17th, 2019. I am one of your hosts, Stephen Fontana, and with me, as always, is my compadre, my BFF, little thing. What do we call that symbol? The greater than and number 3. He is Andy Esimakis. How are you, Andy?
More like a little tilde sign.
You're a tilde?
Squiggly.
Like
tilde.
It. You feeling it? You feeling a little squiggly?
I'm feeling it.
Feeling a little squiggly. And as I mentioned, back on the show, almost, 70 episodes later, we have Roberto. How you doing, Roberto?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for coming back, man. When you were first on the show, that I don't even know how many interviews we had done by then, but it was quite early on.
He was our second guest on the show.
Second guest on the show. Almost 50 guests later, you are back. So we've had some time to do this thing a little bit. So we are so appreciative of you coming back on to talk about this.
It's my pleasure.
Huge deal to our community. One quick aside, Alex Gonzalez, who I'll get to who that is. He's a Patreon producer. He's been basically a part of the fabric of this show since your last episode, and that is because that was his first episode. He was looking for Bloodstained, anything he could get his hands on, and this episode passed across, I believe it was through Reddit, and he's been hooked on our show and been a very good friend of the show ever since. So in some ways, we thank you, Roberto, for our beloved Patreon producer, Alex Gonzalez.
It was obviously all part of my master plan.
Wasn't it?
Playing 17D chess, so...
Steven, you just stole my entire closing part for the show, by the way.
Well, you gotta tell me these things.
I had the whole thing written down to thank Alex and Roberto.
Well, we got it out of the way at the top of the show, so there you go. For those of you who are new to Nintendo Dual Screens Podcast, this is a show where Andy and I and a guest host go over the Nintendo news that you absolutely need to know about and have an open discussion about Nintendo's past, present, and future, and focus on the Nindies that deserve all of your love and attention. Nintendo Dual Screens posts each and every Monday for your listening pleasure on your podcast service of choice, including iHeartRadio and Spotify. You could support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/NDS podcast, just like the aforementioned Patreon producer, Alex Gonzalez. Alex, thank you so much for your support. We cannot continue to grow without it, and our blossoming friendship that has come out of it, I treasure it. It's in my heart forever. If you want to be a part of the show, you can email us your questions, comments, and concerns to feedback@ndspodcast. That's feedback@ndspodcast.com. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or whatever the hell they're calling this service these days, please give us a review. If you review us, we will read your review right here on the show. We have no new reviews since March, so get in there and start reviewing this bad boy. It doesn't have to be a 5-star review, but that would be nice because we are awesome. Anyway, before we get into the lead story, before we just rip apart Roberto's brain about Bloodstained, before we do all that stuff, before we talk about E3, which was pretty cool, it was a nice time. Let's go over the Nindies of the Week. That's right, Andy. It's time to go over the Nindies of the Week. What you been playing, bud?
A little game called Cadence of Hyrule.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, boy.
Wait, is that out?
It
Oh,
is
yeah.
out.
Oh,
It was
yes.
like
Oh my
stealth
God.
dropped at E3 this week.
I have to go, you guys. I'll see you later.
Yeah, totally understand because the game is fucking incredible.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
it's not only a really great game, it's a great Zelda game, it blows my mind how
Wow.
you can take a Zelda concept and apply it to this indie charming title about dancing and fighting enemies to the rhythm, and it works so perfectly.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I loved Crypto the Necrodancer, and when I saw the trailer for the Zelda version, it was just like, what is this reality? Like, what's
Yeah.
happening?
I'm still confused that it's a thing, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, if there's any franchise that's guarded more closely by Nintendo, it is Zelda. Like,
Yeah.
Zelda is like you would
Like
think it's
Crown
Mario,
Jewel.
but like
Yeah.
they've done a ton of shit with Mario. Just he's played every sport. I'm pretty sure he's a real estate salesman at this point. I think he's got his real estate license in like 4 states. I'm pretty sure he might be also a card carrying lawyer in the Mushroom Kingdom. I don't know. He's doing a lot.
Notary Republic.
He's in Notary Public. Yeah, he's doing a lot these days.
That's what it is.
Go ahead, Brett.
But yeah, and also just a little side fact that Necrodancer is 80% off now in the eShop to
Yeah.
celebrate
Wow.
the release. So if you don't got that yet, get it the fuck now.
So,
Just
Andy, I need
saying.
to know. You know my gaming taste and you know my skill level. Is this something I'm going to enjoy?
Yes,
Okay. Then I'll pick it up.
without hesitation. If you enjoy any of the Zelda tunes in any way, shape, or form,
Mhm.
this celebrates the entire soundtrack of the Zelda history, I feel.
Oh, I don't think it's on sale anymore,
And
Andy.
it's a hard game. It's challenging.
It's not on sale
you
anymore,
definitely
Andy.
have
It's full
to
price now.
Son
some
of a
talent.
bee.
Put some skill into it.
Yeah. Well, I do have rhythm. You know what my jam was? Patapon. I was real good at Patapon.
Oh my God, Patapon was so good.
Yeah. Patapon. So I really, honestly, and I'm going to be honest here, I haven't been playing really much on my Switch this week.
You're the worst.
I am in full-on addiction to Apex Legends at this point.
Oh, you're back on that again?
I'm back on the drugs. I'm back on the Apex.
God.
And so much so that I was asked to be a guest host on the #1 Apex Legends podcast this week, which the episode dropped as of this recording Friday afternoon. So check out Jumpmaster by okbeast.com. I am a guest host on this week's show. It was a great show, a lot of fun. So yeah, just put Jumpmaster in your little podcast player and check that out. So yeah, I have nothing to talk about right now. I played maybe 5 minutes of like 5 different games that I got really cheap, and just not enough to really talk about it. But that actually helps us because you know what that does, Andy. That lets us get right into the lead story.
Oh, yeah.
Roberto, prepare thy anus because the questions are
geez.
coming full speed ahead, my friend.
I wasn't prepared for this.
Something tells me
I would have
that
gotten
is the
some
exact
diapers
thing
or
you-
something.
Brace thy asshole.
Brace thine anus. Okay,
We're coming in deep.
before
Okay, I'm braced.
before we get into like gameplay and like specific things about Bloodstained, I actually have a question about your position and dealing with managing the whole Bloodstained situation. So
Sure.
I want to know what have the challenges been essentially representing a game with such a rabid fan base and with such high expectations for quite frankly a long time in retrospect.
Sure.
Like, what has that been like for you? What have the challenges been like for you?
Wow. Well, there's one sort of overarching line that I tell some of our closest volunteers and moderators and people like that. And that's if you've ever watched the first Men in Black, which, I mean, who hasn't? There's a line in there, I think Kay says it, that like there's always some Carillion battle cruiser or some world-ending disaster, and the only way that everyone lives their happy life is not knowing about it. And I don't want to sound like that's every day, because obviously that's not, thank God. But there's definitely been several challenges that you're just like, oh my gosh, and you just really depend on the people that you work with at every level. I mean, I'm talking about sometimes it's, the QA team. Sometimes it's all the way up to the CEO who, just pulls a Hail Mary and just is amazing and saves everyone. But yeah, if I have to give concrete examples, I would definitely say that the graphics sort of remastered before we even launched situation was definitely a good example, because we had the feedback from the beta backer demo. Obviously, people pretty overwhelmingly had some negative feedback regarding the graphics. And like we've said publicly before, we want to hear that negative feedback. We're not trying to just pretend and put a veneer over that like some other outfits do. So it was a big challenge, and I'm very lucky and blessed because our production team is just phenomenal, and the management team approved for them to sort of go and headhunt the people that were necessary to kind of turn that around and give Iga and the core team the support they needed to really, just like I said, they remastered the game before it even came out. I mean,
That's
Way
incredible.
Forward, they're the dev studio. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the talent that they were able to bring on, and to this day, I'm just like, whenever I talk to my producers, I'm like, hey, whatever you need a car ride, you need something, you need a massage, like, you let me know. It's
I think the word you're looking for was poop to describe the graphics before.
yeah, I got a lot of eyebrows, man. Let me tell you, because like I directed that trailer, and by the way, like my creative services team, they are just amazing. I can't even tell you how hard they worked and under what conditions and time constraints and everything. But when I was directing that trailer, I got quite a few eyebrows raised, and quite a few people were like, "What are you doing? You can't call the game poop." And I was like, "Just trust me. It's gonna be okay. This is just." Listen,
If anybody knows the audience, it's you. The people that
well,
are gonna be
I
crazy
try
about that. Yeah, it's Andy and my reaction to that trailer was that we were blown away by how honest it was, and quite frankly, it was funny. And I
It was
think
more like the balls on these people right now.
yeah, it was like wow, they really they get it and nothing put us at ease more than knowing that you're not just blowing smoke up the asses of your followers. Like you
Right.
take it, you actually do take it seriously. So I do want to commend you on that, because that's not easy. There are, you hear about it a little bit more and more, even in AAA development, companies really listening, removing features, adding features, changing things on the fly. The aforementioned Apex Legends from before, like they completely
Right.
revamped their season pass stuff and like all that just based on feedback. But getting back to your challenges, how do you personally compartmentalize the loud vocal minority to the people who actually matter when getting feedback?
Sure. So, and actually, I'll just wrap up that last thing by saying that I'm also incredibly lucky, because not only the people that I depended on to make the trailer with me, like creative service and everything, but Iga, we had to obviously, just like any other asset, bring him along, and he was willing to approve and take that approach. And that was kind of a sweat drop on the forehead moment, because I'm going to Iga basically saying, hey, I want to call your game poop. How's that sound to you? A lot of the people here in 505, they were also like, helping me and supporting me and making the point with me. But anyway, to answer your question, I think that in another way, I'm also grateful that I started my career in games at Digital Extremes on Warframe, because that team basically instilled into me, even before as a fan, because I was playing before I joined, how important it is to, first of all, be honest, just like you were talking about for the trailer. But second of all, like, yeah, there is a vocal minority to anything, whether it's a game or anything else. And I wouldn't say so much it's about focusing on the people that matter or whatever, because there's always some kernel of truth, in my opinion, no matter how much of a minority that and how vocal they can be. I think the trick is always trying to balance wanting to do right by the fans, the backers, the future fans, and also keeping the eye on the prize and saying, look, I have an overarching responsibility to the game, to the brand, to the IP. to the fans. Sort of, it circles back onto the fans because if the IP doesn't do well, then what are we even doing here? So yeah, sorry if I'm rambling, but I guess I'm trying to say, like, you just got to try and play that balancing act. You can't shut anything out, but you also have to have the presence of mind to say, okay, what are the priorities?
Gotcha. Andy, I know you got a whole slew of questions lined up. Why don't you take it over from here, bud?
Yeah, well, again, when you're talking about a vocal fan base, I was curious to see, like, when did the call first come, or when did you know that the game was going to get pushed back to 2019? Because that wasn't a really big deal for you guys. Like, oh shit, we gotta announce this now to people, and the Vita cancellation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's never easy to make those tough announcements and those tough calls, really. As to when, that was pretty much right after or not right after, but after the beta backer demo, excuse me, and all the feedback that we got. And we took some time internally to, first of all, collect it all, because it sounds easy, right? Like, oh, just go online and look at the feedback. What's the big deal? But there's actually a lot of process that goes behind that, and it involves QA, production, and community, and you gotta organize everything and see, how many people are saying what things, and so on and so forth. And then we took that. Production team was amazing, like I mentioned, and helped me on the brand side make the case to senior management. Senior management, I'm not trying to, suck up to anyone here or whatever, but they were also, just phenomenal, because I've been in the opposite scenario where you tell management, hey, we need more money, we need more time, and you got to give it to us. And they're just like, no. So all of those pieces came together. And like I said, that's when Way Forward was brought on. And after all that sort of got squared away, that's when we could come out publicly and be like, hey, we're really sorry that we have to delay the game, but trust in us, this is for the overall greater good, so to speak. So yeah, it was tough, but the thing that gets you through those moments is looking to the future and looking at the end goal, and not trying to dwell in the momentary. Like today, no one remembers even, I feel, the delay in terms of like how negative sometimes the feedback can be for that, and like, oh no, all the faith is gone, oh, it's never coming out, 2025 Mighty Number 9, blah blah blah, whatever.
Oh boy, like, that game.
Yeah, it's sort of like back in the past now, and now that we're here, it's when everything matters, and you see the fruits of all those labors.
God, the shadow of that stupid Kickstarter game long looms after it's been released. I can't, like, just hearing the title gets me all, I want a refund.
Well, fortunately, that's, even that's ancient history, because
it is,
those comparisons really died down a long time ago too, especially once we started showing a lot of the progress that was being made. And, communication goes a long way too. We try to sort of be everywhere as much as possible, be Sauron without the whole, genocidal evil thing.
Exactly. Now, did you guys, when you selected Way Forward to sort of come in and retouch the game's assets, was that always your first choice, or were there other runners up in that category to
pretty much? Yeah, there's a short list, and I'm not trying to pander to anyone or anything, but in case they're listening, I don't know. But yeah, there's a short list, and they were always the top pick if I remember right. But I remember them being sort of the first sort of go-to, because they were nearby, like location wise. They were just amazingly talented, like their history speaks for themselves. They were huge fans. It was really just a match made in heaven.
We backed your game, so it should look better than this.
Can you go into a little bit of how that, like, what that conversation was like? Like, how does a partnership like that set expectations for, you know what you get
Sure.
what I'm trying, like, if I feel like having somebody saying, hey, come in here and fix this, was that kind of like
was it like, fix what exactly? Like, what's our focus here, guys?
Sure. Well, I'll try to make it succinct, because it could get really boring and technical, I feel, but it's really just a matter of, you sit down with the team, and obviously once all the business stuff is taken care of, like, negotiating prices and all that stuff, and partnerships, and just really sitting down and saying, okay, when do we want to launch the game? All right, what can we achieve within that time frame, and where are our efforts most going to have the biggest impact? And that just boils down to the kind of, it sounds obvious to say, but where are the players going to spend the most time? What are they going to spend the most time doing? What are the things they're going to enjoy doing the most? And then making sure that you work on those things, right? What are the areas that have the biggest need? Like some areas were just really, really rough and really sort of, just like, okay, we did it, move on. So yeah, it's really just a balancing act, like I mentioned before, and saying what is the budget that we have, how many people do we have, or can we have rather, and what can they work on, and then trying to be as nice to them as possible to get them to give us some freebies along the way, maybe, and be like, oh, hey, by the way, we have this little thing. You mind making it extra special cool?
So this might be a hard question for you to ask, maybe because of your relationship to the team, but what exactly went wrong with the visuals? Like, why do you think it fell short of the player expectations?
Sure. Well, I would probably chalk that up to two things, and you'll have to forgive me because I'm not on the development side, obviously, so this is just sort of my personal interpretation. I think on the one hand, it was a side effect of the transition from teams from originally Inti Creates, and then Digo came on board, and then sort of the changes that were happening in terms of scope from the original Kickstarter, how the team originally thought, okay, we're going to set out and make this $500,000 game, and then it blew up and it became a $5.5 million game, and that's, people think that that's only a positive, right? Because why wouldn't you? That's so much more money than you expected, but that's actually a lot of more responsibility too, and you're asking a team that was ready to build you a porch, and all of a sudden you're asking them to build you a skyscraper, so to speak.
It's an economy of scale type thing situation,
basically. Yeah, that's at least my layman's interpretation, and maybe my producer later will listen to this and be like, oh, Roberto, what are you talking about? But that's my sort of noobish interpretation. And the other side is also just the amount of things in the game and the fact that this is the first game in a brand new franchise, right? Because people forget, they think Iga and they just naturally assume oh yeah, of course he did Symphony of the Night, he did all these other things, it's all going to be easy and smooth sailing. But this is a brand new IP. Everything has to be made from scratch. Everything has to be tested, balanced, everything from scratch. And it's just an immense amount of work, especially like I mentioned when you scale things. And it's just something that really, when you look at the long-term schedule and you try to pack all that stuff in, and that's also a reason of, why we decided to focus on the main game and then have all the stretch goals and free DLC that were given out come later. So yeah, it just really boils down to the reality of development, and I'm sure developers out there will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and also on that note, it can't just be what he's done before either.
Right.
Because it has to be its own entity, and it has to somewhat at least try to challenge or break the mold of his older titles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play it safe, and why we've been doing this at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So there's definitely I can't even imagine the amount of pressure on Iga, on the core team at Artplay, on the support devs at Deco, and even way forward, right? Because we came to them with a tall order to do a lot of help and integrate with devs in Japan and publishers here, and it's just like I said, it's very easy to take for granted all the moving pieces and just assume that, hey, you got the money, you got the people, do the thing now. But it's a lot of interconnecting Jenga pieces.
Right, and I was firmly in the whole this should have been a sprite-based game from the get-go.
Sure.
But then as I saw it push more towards what it looks like now, I'm more about my eyes are going to come looking how gorgeous this game looks.
Oh, good lord.
Well, you might want to talk to a doctor about that, but yeah, I know what you mean. And to be totally honest, at the very, very beginning, when I'm talking about even before I got on the project, I was in the same boat, right? But when I started working on it, and then I started seeing a lot of the stuff that was coming down the pipeline, because obviously not everything was, looking rough. A lot of the early stuff that we showed in the beta demo and everything, definitely. But there were a lot of amazing things that, the teams didn't really have to touch up too much, to be honest. And then if you look towards the future, I feel pixel games are great, right? That art style. I love Dead Cells. I love a bunch of other, Swords and Sorcery. I mean, there's so many good pixel games. But if you want to try and sort of, like you said, break the mold, aim a little bit higher, punch a little bit above your, weight class, you got to try and innovate everywhere, and that includes graphics and visuals. You can't just, even if you want to achieve that wider audience, right? Because you still have a really huge audience that maybe doesn't usually play a game like a Metroidvania or a pixel game, but then they see the art style, they see the graphical quality, and like, oh, all right, let me get that little palate cleanser. Let me see what this game is about, and that's how you sort of build a brand and hopefully one day make it into something even bigger than it is already.
Amen to that.
Amen indeed. Amen indeed. Why don't we move on to some mailbag? We do have some questions here from our faithful Patreon supporters. So these are all from our Discord, which in order to get in the Discord, you have to be a Patreon member at $1 or more. So we do have, and I want to start us off with Alex Gonzalez, as we had mentioned. He's our Patreon producer. He asks, if you could have added one guest character to Bloodstained, who would it have been?
Wow, that's a very, very
now obviously we're speaking from your personal
very
taste.
Interesting question.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Roberto. Interesting indeed.
Yeah. Okay, I would say that if I could have chosen anyone, you know what? Let's go. This is gonna sound like I'm pandering, but whatever. I would have chosen Zelda, Princess Zelda.
Oh wow,
Princess Zelda. Okay.
Yeah, it's and you know what? I don't, and I'm gonna be totally frank. I'm gonna put it all out there. I don't think it'll happen because, it's Zelda, just like we were talking about. But who knows? Maybe one day we can make that happen. Maybe if enough people go out and buy the game, listeners, you hear me? You listening? And we can show Nintendo some really nice numbers, then maybe we'll be able to achieve something kind of nuts. But yeah, that would be my wave a magic wand and get something crazy into the game.
Yeah, but she's off dancing in Hyrule now, so
yeah, she's apparently busy.
The best you can hope for is maybe Rabbid Peach at this point.
Oh boy. My answer to that question, Alex, if you're interested in my answer, would be I think Dante, Devil May Cry. I think he would be a really cool addition.
That's such a safe choice.
I just feel like he would fit in the art style. He obviously fits in the tone of the game. And I think his weapon set would be pretty cool.
Sure.
And
go full on Solid Snake. You already have David there as a voice.
True. Got a point.
Just to further piss off Konami.
I don't know if I don't want to. Yeah, no.
Call him Gaseous Eel.
There's a very strong belief for me in not starting wars, and I'm not gonna go and try to start a war with anyone. So, although I do love David Hayter and the Metal Gear franchise and it's crazy. Like you guys know, I think that we got to work with him when he was recording his voice lines, and the guy's just amazing. So nice, so humble. So talented. And I don't know if I told you this before, because I think the voice recording came after our interview last time, but it was kind of a crazy personal satisfaction moment, because we were in the sound studio recording, and he knew how much of a fan I was, because I was trying to stay professional, but totally failed, because as soon as he comes in, I'm like, please sign my Metal Gear copies.
Wow.
Not as soon as he comes, but you know what I mean. So then when he's recording his voice lines at this, there was this one time where I'm, keeping a straight face, super focused on the script, whatever. And obviously, even if you're talented like David Hayter is, you take multiple takes and you do, different versions. And then at one point, the director's, telling them to take a pause so they can do some stuff with the audio or whatever. And he goes, "Roberto, you're pretty good," in his Metal Gear voice. And I just turned into this little anime schoolgirl, giggling and just breaking
down.
Go
back to my mom, please. Record this on my phone.
Never forget that. Oh my god, that was insane. It was
See,
so.
I'd be the guy with a VHS copy of Guyver 2 for him to sign.
Wow. Good Lord. MultiZ asks, what elements of the game will satisfy fans of the Iga-mania style games, and are there elements that you hope will bring new players to the genre?
Okay. Let me see. To answer the first part, I would say that elements that'll satisfy old fans. Wow. I mean, it would probably be easier to say what wouldn't, but I guess everything from let's just pick one. Exploration. I feel that there's a lot of times that I'm going through the castle and I feel like I've totally covered an area, and then all of a sudden I just try something different. I'll try a different shard or a different ability, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, let me try and go on the roof, or let me try and break something, and then oh wait, there's an actual area here. Okay, let's do it. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of that, especially from like the midpoint onwards, because you're going to be backtracking. You're going to see areas that are like obviously like, okay, you can't reach this now, whatever. But then towards like the midpoint of the game, it starts really getting interesting, and I won't spoil anything, but there's some things that even make you think of Dark Souls in terms of how like there's something that there's things that you could totally miss and just be like, wait, what are you talking about? What area? Like, anyway, that's all I'll say. To anticipate other like fans that want innovation, I'd probably say cooking and the shard system. Because cooking is pretty fun. It really, gives me big time Breath of the Wild vibes, where you cook things for the first time, you get a permanent upgrade, and then after that, it has like just a standard effect. And it's a really sort of ingenious and elegant system where you're constantly incentivized to try and cook new things. And it's not just a simple matter of, oh, I'm going to go buy some stuff and go craft it. There's an NPC that actually is a farmer, and you have to like grow rice, or you have to grow the crops and then harvest with him and wait for that to happen. And then you use that in an experiment and create new dishes. And it's just, I think it's pretty cute and pretty cool. It's an extra little something that gives some more depth to the game, but it's not like, you're going to fail and suck horribly if you don't invest time in it or anything. So don't worry about that. The shard system is just it's so good. every single enemy, every single boss, everyone drops a shard of some kind, of some sort, and they're all having different effects. They can be passives, they can be actives, directionals, triggers. You can farm to level them up. You can use them more to like upgrade. There's like the level for the shard, and then there's the quality or grade of the shard. And it's not just like a straight stat boost, right? So you start off with like a little dinky fireball, and then you level it up, and all of a sudden it's bigger, and then you level up more, and then you're shooting more of them, and you're leveling up the grade of them by using it more, so it does more damage. So there's a lot of depth there. There's a lot of sort of like, I don't know how many monsters now. There's so many enemies in the game, but you will find the build that you like, and you're going to be able to turn it into that sort of soul-crushing, monster-destroying build to just sort of, get that satisfaction out of.
Now, speaking of monsters and bosses, this comes from Mr. Nuff, Matt Murray. He asks, what's your favorite monster/boss in the game? Now, obviously, you don't want to spoil too much here. You want to give too much away.
The one from the trailer.
Wow. Oh my gosh. These are tough questions, man. Oh my gosh.
That's our audience.
And you know what? There's been enough questions for me to say this without spoiling anything, but these are tough questions also because I've had to already lie for one of them and pretend that something was true that wasn't, because otherwise it would have been a huge spoiler. So Having said that, and that's the only time I would ever lie. By the way, not to make it sound like I'm just here like peddling.
We got two things out of this right now, Andy.
Yeah,
the first one that we got was, I don't know if you heard him say it, but this is officially the Dark Souls of Castlevania games.
He did say that. Yes.
He did say it. That's a quote we could put on the box.
Stardew Valley of Castlevania games.
And now it seems like he just confirmed Zelda is in this game. So there you go. We got two things.
That's not what I said.
Majorly confirmed right here, folks. You heard it here.
And that's how Roberto got fired.
Run with it. Put it in print. You guys, you just keep rambling on. I'm gonna update this article. I'm gonna put in some
Nintendo.
quotes.
It's too late. It got announced. Miyamoto-san. What can we do? They already announced it.
It's in. That's it. It's got to be.
No.
in the game.
Okay. Let me get to your question. I'm sorry. I totally went off there.
Mr. Nuff. Yes.
Favorite enemy. All right. I will reveal my totally. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll do two. You'll have to. I'm gonna call executive privilege on this. The first one, just because it's just so fun and crazy, is a boss that has to do, and hardcore fans will know who I'm talking about because there's a way for you to know about him, but it's a boss that deals with gambling. I'll say that.
Ooh.
And he's larger than life. And yeah. So there you go. My second answer would be just from the kid inside me. There is a very what's the correct way to say this? There's a very attractive enemy who is fun to fight and also fun to have around and be like, hey, this is Iga-mania. This is we're there. We did it.
Hey, weebs. This one's for you.
All right. This is from Buzz, a.k.a. Zach, Buzz Killington, Nintendo Dual Screen Superfan Zach. He says, I just want to say congrats on the big release. This is one of my most anticipated games of the year, and I am so happy it is finally here. I have been waiting a few years for it. Question, are there any plans for future DLC down the line, or perhaps even plans for a sequel already? I know he hits with those real Reddit-like questions.
Yeah,
but you know what? It's Nintendo Dual Screen Superfan Zach.
Yeah,
your fans have some really good questions. Holy crap! Okay, so DLC, yes. Sequel, yes, but not how he asked it, because there's no plan like we're working on it and it's called like Project Cowboy Hat or something. Like we want to make it, but it's not like in the works now, if you know what I mean. Like
it's not in any pre-production right now.
It's like we have, and I think we've said this before, and even Iga said this, like we have high hopes for the franchise. We want to make a franchise. We want to bring back Iga-mania and have it here to stay, sort of thing. We don't want to make people have fatigue for the kind of games that Iga is famous for, but we want to have a stable presence in the world and have people sort of enjoy it, not just once or twice. DLC, yes, we have some plans, and right now the entire team, our play way forward, everyone's all hands on deck for the launch, and then also the free DLCs and stretch goals and everything. But we're already looking into how we can task maybe additional teams and what kind of DLC people would most like. And we've already sort of, tested the waters a little bit a long time ago, but we're definitely going to be doing some more like survey and sort of, community feedback efforts to try and see what people most want. And so far, I think the number one thing was extra playable characters that also have sort of like story expansion elements to them. And some other really cool things like, easier things like cosmetics and maybe some extra shards or enemies or little things like that. So yeah, we're definitely looking to, give people what they want and not gouge them. There's not going to be any $9.99 color blue dress or something.
Oh man.
So that's it from our Discord people, but there is one more question, Andy, one final question that you actually added to the doc, Andy. So why don't you take that one away?
Oh yeah, this comes from Steven C. And he asks, will this game make me cry like an anime fan on prom night?
Well, I am an anime fan, and I shamelessly admit to have cried at many anime.
As have I. As have I.
Absolutely. I don't think the game will make you cry. At least, well, actually, no, that's not true. Okay, yeah, I actually. All right, so it made me cry at more than one point, and like for the story, not because I was just like in pure fanboy heaven, like, oh my god, this is so amazing, tears of joy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be that guy, but yeah, the story definitely has some. It's very, what's the word? Like, it's very complete. Like it's not like a single tone. Like, oh, this is serious business or this is all comedy. Like there's a variation there, right? There's some lighthearted moments. There's some more, twist and pulling on the heartstrings and everything. And it's not like, it's not like we got George R.R. Martin or anything, but it's a great story.
I swear to God, I thought you were just about to say Jar Jar Binks, and I was gonna leap through this camera.
What? No, what the hell? No.
It's not like we got Jar Jar Binks in here. Like,
well, listen, if good George R.R., then this game will not be out yet.
No. The only way we would have put him in is if Disney decided to go with the Lord Sith Jar Jar theory, and then we could have talked about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, there's your guest character right there, confirmed on the show, guys.
There it is.
Jar Jar Binks.
Updating article. And
Misa summon Dracula.
You sound in big doo-doo now. Okay.
That's better. Yeah.
All right, so that's all the questions we have. Is there anything else you want to tell the folks about Bloodstained Ritual of the Night before we move on to our Nintendo news report?
I guess I'll say two things. One, to fulfill my duty as the hey, I sell the game kind of thing. The game is launching on Tuesday on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and then on June 25th on Nintendo Switch. And we're planning to launch 13 free DLCs in the near future. And some of them are already going to be available at launch, where we haven't actually announced this, officially, but the Speed Demon update is what's available at day one. And it's going to have speedrun mode, boss rush mode, the pure Miriam outfit, and a whole slew of optimization tweaks and a bunch of stuff that makes, the game even more satisfying. Some balance tweaks, nightmare mode, new game plus, lots of good stuff. To be the fan and sort of disengage from the whole pitch side of things. Oh God, how can I not spoil this? All right. We made a launch trailer. It's coming out Tuesday, 6 a.m. Pacific time. You do not want to miss this launch trailer. If you miss this launch trailer, you're going to regret it.
You will cry. Like an anime fan.
You will cry. You will cry because people will tell you about it, and you'll be like, "How do I not know about this?" Just be sure you don't miss the launch trailer, because it's not just,
oh man,
hey, the game is out, go get it.
Oh man.
Oh boy, this just got a whole lot better.
Oh man, I don't even want to. Oh man,
we're getting gifts after E3. What is this?
What
world is this?
Yeah, we didn't do anything at E3 because unless I was going to show up there with Jesus Christ himself, I don't think I was going to beat out Keanu Reeves.
You got a point. God. That is a solid point. Solid
Lord
point.
Almighty.
Can you imagine the guy that had to come out after him? Thanks, Keanu. I got it. It's no problem now. That's yeah.
Yeah, I got this. You go back.
You're
the silver lining is that you get to high five him or something, and everything else is just well, this is my life now.
And then shit your pants.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, totally fine.
No worries.
That is a great segue.
It is a great
segue.
Our
next segment.
It's time to talk Nintendo E3. So here we are. This is the Nintendo E3 2019 report. Sadly, Andy, none of our 2019 unpredictions came true.
What are you talking about?
What?
They totally did.
What? Which one?
We got Animal Crossing stuff. That was one of yours. Oh, unpredictions.
They were the unpredictions. The unpredictions.
I was referencing to our article on dualscreens.com.
No, I'm not. No, that was our wishes. We did get some wishes. Or some of our wishes came true. But you could check out that article at dualscreens.com. Read it. Give us the click, you sons of bitches. All right, so getting right into it, this thing starts off with a DLC character reveal for Smash. That's the first thing. And guess what? It's another anime sword fighter. Yay.
Listen, Steven, this was great. It was Sword Guy
Yeah,
fighting Sword Guy
correct.
and Sword Guy.
Right.
And he got saved by new Sword Guy.
Sword Guy, yeah. So, yeah, Dragon Quest character.
Sword Guy.
I forget. What's the character's name? Shit, now I forget.
He's just a hero, no? He has no name.
He has a name.
Well, there's like a name that they have for Homeboy.
Yeah, he's like the hero that spans the games. He was like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway.
Oh, and then new Sword Guy got saved by 4 other new Sword Guys.
Right. So there's 4 sword guys from Dragon Quest coming in here. So whatever, if you're a Dragon Quest fan, fine. You know, I'm not going to poo-poo that. I just don't think we need more I don't think we need more Square Enix love in Smash, but I also don't think we need 4 more sword-based characters. But whatever. Listen, I'm not a Smash, crazy Smash fan as some out there. But the second, which was towards the end of the Direct, the second character reveal, guest character, is finally, it's real, it's actually happened, it's happening. Banjo-Kazooie is in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Oh, man. I love the fake out that they did with the Duck Hunt duo.
Yeah.
Before the reveal.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been great if they went a step further and it was a Banjo-Kazooie skin for Duck Hunt. And then did a proper, oh, guys, we're just fucking with you. It's actually Banjo-Kazooie.
That would have been an epic troll. Oh my gosh.
God. Yeah. Roberto, any thoughts about these DLC characters?
Yeah. I'm actually a big fan of Sword and Shield characters in general. So when I saw the announcements, I was like, yeah, all right, I'll do with that. Yeah, I'll take that. But yeah, it just made me even more anxious and what's the word? Desired to no, that's not the anxious, whatever. To hopefully one day talk to Nintendo about Bloodstained and maybe we can do something interesting there. Who knows?
Ooh.
Guys, heard it here first.
All right, changing headline.
Coming down the line.
Clickety clackety click click clack. So they also showed in this wonderful Direct Luigi's Mansion 3 gameplay stuff.
Hooray!
And still no exact release date, but they are still saying 2019, which is encouraging. It's probably going to be a October game. That's just my educated guess. But it looks really good, Andy and Roberto.
Yeah, we got Luigi is back.
Luigi is back.
And there's like some multiplayer co-op things going on too. It's like, yes, no one asked for that, but thank God it's there.
I haven't checked it out yet. Does it still have the? Does he use the vacuum cleaner thing?
Yes.
But
now the vacuum.
This game is really gonna suck.
But not only that, Roberto, but it's also going to blow because it has 3 new attack modes. One of them being I guess you suck them in and then you slam them down, so like they get stuck on the nozzle and you can like slam them like you're holding them by their ankles and just slamming them around.
It's a very violent game.
I'm very sorry, by the way, because I think we just cost you like maybe 20% of your fan base with those very terrible jokes.
Oh no!
no!
Our fans.
No! They know what they're getting into.
That's par for the course for this podcast, Roberto.
Yeah. Par for the course, indeed. Right. And there's also a like a not a blow dart, but like suction cup shooter mode thing. Like where you can like pull items.
Puzzle thing is going on in the environment.
What was the other one?
I remember that from Super Mario 3.
Oh, there was like an AoE attack. That was like a jump, like a burst.
Right. Yeah, you shoot up. Yeah, right. And then you kind of stomp down. So yeah. So it looks really good. And then they announced like a multiplayer mode. It looked like 4 players running around on a static screen, kind of looked maybe competing for who could get the most. I don't know. Maybe it was like a horde mode. Ghosts. I don't know. They didn't really give a lot of information on that. I think in the treehouse they might have. I don't know. I didn't really check out the treehouse too much, but
How do you not do a Ghostbusters collab with the remake coming out soon?
I don't know, Andy.
It's like right there. It's on the table.
Money talks, bro.
It does.
That's why.
It's right.
That kind of
there.
sounds like the versus mode from Mario Kart with the balloons and everything. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Oh God. Don't
Remember that?
remind me about that mode.
Be still, my heart.
Oof.
So we got some Link's Awakening news here as well. A deeper dive into the world and the reimagined graphics and some gameplay in there. It looks gorgeous. I'm sold now. I was a little on the fence, but man, Link is so damn cute with his dumb little face.
Watching him fish with that dumb smirk on his face.
Yeah, it's cute.
It got me. Because I was a little on the fence too. Like I was poo-pooing. I was like, what is this plastic looking Link on the screen?
Yeah.
This garbage. Now I'm like, oh, it's kind of adorable.
I want to hug it.
I love how back in the day when we had Wind Waker, the first reaction was like you were in the minority if you thought it was cute back then. I was like, what is this cute Link? What are you doing to us, Nintendo? But now it's all the rave, and saying it's not cute was you're the outcast. But now in the winning side, I'm on Team Cute officially.
Arguably, the most interesting thing to come out of this is a new mode, which is I don't know if they gave a name for it. I should pull up that article, but essentially it is not necessarily a dungeon maker, but as you're playing the game, you're collecting dungeon tiles, and you are creating a dungeon for you to run through to collect more items and stuff like that. So it's almost it actually reminded me of the MK11 crypt, except you are creating the crypt, if that makes sense.
So a dungeon maker.
Yeah, but it's not something that you're going to be giving to anybody else, and it looks like it's not going to be as unique. Like, people aren't going to have their own dungeons. It's like you're finding the tiles, putting them together in like their proper spot, and then dungeon crawling, unlocking some items and whatnot for your game. It's not something that you're going to share with others. You're not going to play other people's dungeons. But this could
like
be
a watered down Mario Maker in a sense.
Not even. No, I wouldn't even say that, because you don't place traps, you don't place enemies. All you're placing is the tile, which has the treasure chests and the enemies and everything already built into it. So
watered down.
Yeah,
way watered down.
What were you going to say, Roberto?
No, I was just saying, even if it sounds watered down, but it still sounds like something that could be interesting, maybe lead to something else down the line. Who knows? Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of my thoughts about it. Is this could be testing the waters for something a little bit more in depth. If they have the assets and they have the engine and the systems ready to go for something like that, maybe it's something they can say, hey, you know what, Zelda Maker sounds like a really good idea. Because I would totally do that.
I'm going to put on my Vizier hat or crystal ball or whatever.
Here it is.
I almost feel like that's the team at Nintendo making the main game, saying, all right, we did everything, we got it to the polish. And then on the side, they were working on that other mode as a kind of like, hey, let's try and make it happen. And then they sort of probably like cut it off at the feature set that's been announced and then said, all right, we can get it here to this point, polish it up, see how the fans react, see if it gets any traction, and then maybe from there take it off, and you know what I mean, take off with it. And I mean, that's what I would do if I were them.
Maker franchise can
merge from. Then you get a Samus Maker or Metroid Maker. You get a Zelda Maker. You get a. I mean,
they can't even make a Metroid, so having a Metroid Maker. What do you mean? They're making Metroid 4. Sure they are. Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Take Two.
Yeah. It's their second attempt at making that game, and we know nothing about it. Anyway, but what we do know is that Link's Awakening is coming June 20th, which is like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
That is Thursday.
I'm broke, guys.
That is 4 days from when our listeners are listening to this. This is coming out on the 17th. This is... Wow. Holy shit. I forgot it was that close. Anyway, we got it.
There's a lot of games that have done that.
It's so bad.
All of a sudden, like Journey is out on PC, and then like oh my gosh.
Cadence of Hyrule. You gotta go get that one.
Yeah, that Cadence of Hyrule. That's what I was trying to. Sorry, it's been a long few months.
It's been a long 4 years. making this game.
Wait, what? The Nintendo Switch? What's that? No More Heroes 3 was announced with a very stylized, cool little character trailer. I immediately thought of you, Andy. I was like, oh, look, they did it, Andy. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Travis Touchdown.
Indeed.
I enjoyed Travis Strikes Back. It was a fun little game for what it was.
Yeah, it's what you tell me.
But now we got Travis proper.
Indeed.
I'll celebrate that.
Daemon X Machina got its release date of September 13th, and I want to spend a couple of seconds on this because the demo they put out was not good. The game was not... I immediately said, okay, I was all for this, and now I am very much not for this. Just did nothing for me. This trailer, however, looks like it fixed a lot of the issues I had with it. I don't know if you noticed, Andy, but that game looks like it plays a lot faster.
Right, and I see why it got pushed back. I mean, there was no initial release date, but I see why it's later in the year, just to give it that more time before it's like ready to be launched and released, because it was looking rough in that demo. Like, it was boring as shit.
Yeah,
this is slow.
It was slow. It was lumbering. It was like...
It was a chore to get through.
Exactly.
For the most simplest of tasks. Like, I gotta aim that way to shoot this guy.
Okay, now turn around and get the guy shooting you from behind. Okay, almost. Okay, I'm turned around. Where is he? Oh, now he's under me. Okay, look down. Oh, I can't look all the way down. I gotta fly down a little bit. Okay, now I flew down. Oh, there he is. Oh, I'm out of energy. Okay.
It would take you less time to find a used PS1 and a copy of Mega Boost on eBay, order it, have it shipped, sent to your house, hook it up, and play it than playing this game.
Correct. But it looks a lot faster. I will say that. So I'm intrigued again. I'm hoping they put out another demo so I could really make up my mind. But you know what's not slow and lumbering, and that's flying dragons around blowing shit up. Panzer Dragoon Remake was announced.
This is what I'm talking about. These are the things that make E3 magical.
What reality are we living in even? I don't even...
What is this timeline?
Seriously.
Roberto? For me, I've always felt that for most people, like when they saw this trailer, they were like, okay, this will hold me off until we get a proper Star Fox game, maybe. And I'm more of the camp that's like, nah, I play Star Fox in between my Panzer games. So, fuck yes, this made me so happy when I saw this. Thank you, Sega. I appreciate you.
Sega. Is that coming to everything else, or is that just the Switch thing?
Ooh, that's a great question. And we don't do research on this podcast, so who knows?
Go out there and figure it out for yourselves.
We got bullet points on the paper, but
we do have bullet points. I actually had I left my notebook at work. I had notes. I was taking notes during the thing, but I left.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I left it at work.
Good job.
Yeah. Contra.
Guys, Contra is back, motherfucker. All right. And it is more Chad than ever. It's the most Chad version of the game we've seen. You play as a panda.
Yeah.
Which I was So I was watching an IGN preview of Contra Rogue Core was the full title of this game. And he was explaining the panda character. It's like the game's mascot.
Uh-huh.
And he was saying how it's a human brain in the cyborg panda body.
Sure.
And he tells the IGN employee who was playing the game, he's like, well, don't worry about the plot for now. You'll find out more about that later. I'm like, yeah, okay, guy. It's a Contra game. Plot is very, very insignificant when it comes to these titles.
It has a plot?
So I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah.
I don't remember Contra having a plot. I don't...
That is
aliens, something helicopter,
guns, bullets,
wolf guy. There was a wolf guy.
Turrets underground.
It looks a lot like there was a PS2 game called Neo Contra.
That's
that weird isometric perspective thing going on.
And I'm gonna try and say this in the best way that doesn't get me fired, but am I the only one that thought it looked kind of weird, like the art style?
It looked like butt.
Oh, okay.
It looked like poop.
It looked like a big old butt. And who knows? I don't think we got maybe we did get a release date, but
I don't know. But between this and Battletoads,
oh my god,
let's leave these things where they belong in the grave. Because if this is the best we can do, when we bring back old franchises.
Listen, I am all for
Better
trying
off dead.
new art style. Like the art style of
Better off
Battletoads
dead.
is interesting. It looks like a Cartoon Network style, like late 90s, early 2000s cartoon, which is cool. I get it, but it looks in motion for that type of game so bad.
Well, I'll tell you even something else. Like, I don't understand why the first step that a lot of these sort of, re-emerging titles make is to try and just change the formula completely and radically. Like, for example, I love Gradius. I think it's, just a super classic franchise that would have such an amazing potential if it were out today. But if they were to remake it today, I would say, hey, stick to what made it great and just give it a modern coat of paint. Make it look good. Make it, give it a few extra bells and whistles.
Yeah, you have
then
extra
once
buttons, you could do other like weapons and stuff.
Like reintroduce it, like remind people and introduce people to why they loved it in the first place or why they should love it, and then try and go nuts and make it, I don't know. Now it's a turn-based game or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
But you can't go crazy out the gate.
You're right. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, can you imagine if Iga had come along and been like, okay, we're making Iga-mania and it's going to be a go-kart racer? Like, what?
It's a card collecting game.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Oh, my God.
Build your ultimate Iga-mania team, collecting cards and opening loot packs.
I would have walked in the door at 505 and just been like, okay, thanks, goodbye.
Oh, it's free to play and you have to buy decks of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're each $49.99.
Do you guys want more shards? We have them. You can give us $9.99. We'll give you 10 shards.
Pay $14.99 for the real ending.
Oh God! Oh, I would.
Mass Effect 3.
Oh God.
Animal Crossing: New Horizons. So we got a date. We got a name. New Horizons. Takes place on islands, like little mini islands that you are, cultivating and making your own. Looked very cute, and then the heartbreak set in, Andy. The heartbreak.
Oh, not for me. I'm glad it got delayed.
I mean, so am I, but
we're pretty stacked this year as it is, so I'm fine with it.
Fans of Animal Crossing, the big diehards, they are heartbroken because we are delayed to March 20th, 2020.
Boo-hoo, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with delays. Like, who out there does not have a crate? Like, I get it. I'm working, and by some measures, I'm an old man now already. But like, how do you not have a backlog of like 30 games, good games that you still have to play? Like, whenever I hear people, complaining, like actually complaining about delays, I'm like, what? Like, how?
Like, are you playing nothing until the game comes out? I don't understand what's going on with that now. Like, what is it?
I have to hook up my GameCube again. There was an article about somebody who has been maintaining his or her GameCube Animal Crossing Village thing for, like, I don't know. What would that be?
All right, so that person...
11 years?
Long enough for the village to gain sentience.
I'm sorry for the delay. I'm sure it hurt them a lot.
Yeah.
But for the rest of us... Now, that with this game, did we see it before it was shown at E3 this year? Remind me.
No, we only got the announcement.
Right, so this is why I don't get it. You haven't released a set before even showing the game footage proper. And then when you do announce it and show it and give it a full title, you delay it. Why? I don't get that.
Nintendo announced some things, I think, earlier than they were. I think they were scared. I think that the numbers started to slow down. They missed their hardware target by quite a bit.
Pokemon's coming out this year.
Yeah, but I think they were just like, hey, also Metroid, also Animal Crossing.
Yeah, but and Link's Awakening and Astral Chain and
they did it again. They're redoing what they already did that you don't like that they did, but that's at the end of the thing. So let's just get through. Speaking of backlog, Roberto, with The Witcher 3 is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Oh boy.
It is going to be running 540p on handheld and 720p docked. Graphic comparison videos are up there now. It does not look that bad. I just hope...
No, it looks bad.
It doesn't look that bad. It doesn't. It just doesn't. If you're getting a 150 to 200 plus hour open world, literally go anywhere, do anything. Like, I'm curious because it's on one 32 gig cart with no download. one 32 gig card. So my thing is, what's the loading situation going to be like?
Yeah.
Because those load times suck.
That's going to be the deal breaker. This for me, this feels like, listen, I could go into a tattoo shop and get a tattoo of Tingle on my ass if I wanted to.
You can.
Doesn't mean I should.
No.
And I feel like Witcher 3, you could do it on Switch, and you obviously did it, but should you have done it? Because it don't look that great to me, to be honest. That's just my take of it.
If the Switch is your console, that's what you have. You don't have anything else. You don't have a souped up PC. You don't have a PS4 or Xbox. Get The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
It is for me, it was a life-changing video game. It is definitely my game of generation. We'll see what Cyberpunk does, but Witcher 3, what they did in that game, what they were able to put in that game, and the sheer amount of content and support that they gave that game changed what I think of when it comes to action RPGs and open world games. Completely changed it. It actually spoiled Breath of the Wild for me.
Wow.
But speaking of,
oh yes,
Breath of the Wild, they're making a sequel.
Yeah,
and they showed actual footage of it.
It looks spooky too.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm down with that.
Go to the Majora's Mask.
Skeletons.
Yeah, spooky, scary skeletons.
Oh yeah, that's the way it goes. I'm not hip with the kids anymore. Oh no.
Oh no.
But yeah, we saw it. It's real. It wasn't a logo.
Yeah.
It was a CG trailer and a little bit of. They showed a little bit of Hyrule.
It's
Wait, wasn't it? Oh yeah.
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 And to answer your question from before, like why they do it, I don't even think it's too much about like sales or whatever. Like, it's always a delicate balance. I can tell you, like coming from the marketing side of things, of trying to slowly build up hype the right way and the right amount. You know what I mean, and not get fatigue with people, because you don't want to do it too much, because then they're like, okay, yeah, we get it. You know, Metroid Prime 4, Zelda, all right, whatever. But you have to do it too, because even if you are a big name brand like Zelda, you still gotta, get in front of people and build it up.
People are going to be talking about this for the next 18 months.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately. Oh, don't forget the new Zelda thing. Oh, we got the Zelda thing coming. Oh yeah, what's that Zelda thing? Oh, we're going to get a Zelda Direct. It's just going to be a snowball.
It's just nice seeing two new Zelda games on the same console.
Yeah. And if I know Nintendo, there's a group of extremely talented people who have a very, very big, very well thought out plan, and this is all sort of part of it. And this is like you said, the snowball at the top of the mountain that rolls down, and
just like getting Zelda and Bloodstained, Roberto. Mm-hmm.
Hey man, it's. Are you listening, Nintendo? Are you there?
Reggie listened, but he's retired now.
Oh yeah, now I have to go talk to Bowser.
That's a fantasy of ours.
Can we just talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
How and what? Like we live in a simulation. I'm sorry. Like, you cannot tell me that the CEO of Nintendo, his last name is Bowser, and expect me to believe that we do not live in a simulation.
Bro, we saw the Matrix at E3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Neo was there.
Exactly.
If that's not proof enough of us being in the Matrix.
Exactly.
Do they call him Bowser?
I would.
Japan?
I would be like, Bowser. I'm sorry, fire me, but I'm gonna call you Bowser. Like, this is too good. I can't not call you Bowser.
I mean, they don't call the character of Bowser. They call him Koopa, right? In Japan.
What? Oh, I don't know. I thought they called him King Bowser, didn't they?
I think that's an American
King,
thing.
Maybe? I don't know.
I think they call him King Koopa.
I would still call him
Oh
Bowser.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And if they do that, I wonder if they're calling him Koopa. Just to keep the tradition alive, you know what I mean?
Oh,
just for
man.
consistency's sake, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
If I were him, I would make it so that my email, like internally at Nintendo, would show up as King Koopa.
Oh God, that's so fucking good. That is so. And by the way, I want to say, it actually, like, I got that weird, like, adorable, like watching a puppy kiss a baby feeling in my stomach, watching that dumb intro where Bowser's there with his little tie on and he gets introduced. It was so cute and so adorable. I was like, oh my God, this is the best.
Yeah.
Seeing those two worlds merge together and them acknowledge the fact that it's Bowser was great. Speaking of Koopa, speaking of Bowser, it's time to get into the hype zone, Roberto.
All right.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I mean, I've been living in the hype zone for a while.
You thought you were.
All right.
But it's about to get hypier. Andy, take it away.
Oh no, this is all you because you chose this dumb thing to talk about. So
Perfect. I'm in.
yeah, you can have this.
What is the number one? Oh God, I hope this website doesn't autoplay a video. It usually does.
Well, you chose CNET because you're a big floppy douche.
Well, it's their article. They had the
also
the
I gave
exclusive
it to
on
you
this
to
thing.
talk about because I refused to
They
load
had the
this
exclusive on this thing.
laptop.
Roberto,
Yes.
when you think gaming accessories,
Okay.
what is the first company that comes to mind?
Nerve gear?
Okay. Well, you're wrong. Because there's a new name that is
Okay.
going to be synonymous with accessories for gamers.
All right.
I'm not talking about your Razer or your Mad Cats, as it were. No. I'm talking.
Everyone
Oh,
likes
here comes the ad. There it
A
is.
new Scotia
Mute.
checking account.
Stop.
Get a $300
Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, I got it. Sorry. God, this website is awful. CNET really is the worst website ever. Go visit it and read this article. IKEA.
Wait, what?
That's right. IKEA
What do they make? Like a gaming desk or
is
something? or?
no. Oh no, sir.
If it were
IKEA
only that simple.
is making ergonomic accessories for gamers using
Okay.
3D printing technology.
Okay. Like gel wrist pads or something? Like for your
Close.
keyboard? Or
Close. A supportive
chair?
wristband, a 3D printed supported wristband,
Uh-huh.
keycaps, and something that they are calling
Caps.
a mouse bungee.
I saw
What?
that. I saw that wristband. I was like, that is the worst looking cock ring I've seen in my entire life.
This
It looks
sounds
like a
the
medieval
gamer's
torture device.
It sounds like the gamer's version of that guy that shows up to like the first day of ski school and like all completely branded, like neon color ski gear, and he's just like, "Okay, I'm ready to ski." You know, like what? A bungee cord for your mouse? Why would you need a?
And that looks
it's extreme,
it looks
bro.
like a butt plug.
Oh,
Oh,
wonderful.
cock rings
That's-
and butt plugs. I love it.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, people have played with their feet and bananas and drums. I guess
Got a point.
evolution.
You got a point. The
don't
line
kink
the
shame,
label is called Up Copla label. The products are designed to improve gamers' ergonomic experience. Up Copla is apparently based on a Swedish word, uppkoplad, which means connected or online.
All right, you know what? Here's my message to IKEA. IKEA, just give me a gaming desk. That's it. That's all we ask for.
Nice chair.
They do have gaming desks. If you go to their website, you will find some gaming desks. They're not the best, but they're there.
All right.
Because I was
Well,
looking
okay,
for
then
this.
give me a good gaming desk. 'Cause
Yeah, give me something. Give me a gaming.
I don't have the
desk where I
time
can
and money to
hide
make one of
things.
those desks that you see on Reddit that's like got a nuclear reactor inside and 17 different panels of glass and acrylic or whatever. Like,
They're changing the game
You
though,
can-
Roberto.
You can 3D print your desk now.
yeah,
Through
It'll,
IKEA.
it'll take 23 days, but you will get a brand new desk.
yeah. And
Um,
connect it to you with a bungee cord.
a bungee mouse cable bungee. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that is going to do it for the Hype Zone, which brings us to the conclusion of this incredible episode with Roberto Piraino of 505 Games. My God, what a great show this has been. Andy, what a great show.
Steven.
Just
One
can
of our best.
we are so good at this. I gotta be honest. Like we just get.
We're just so clever.
just-
It's amazing.
I mean, the puns were there.
give the old pat on the back. You know what I mean? We
It was
ask
all
the
important.
hard-hitting journalistic questions. Roberto came in here. He actually he revealed Princess Zelda is in the game. We got him to
Oh
admit
my
that.
God.
Yeah.
We got him to admit a lot on this podcast.
We make Mondays suck less for all.
You know
of
what? Roberto came on this show thinking that we were the same two dudes that he was interviewed by last time.
Yeah, I feel like Jordan Peterson when he got ambushed by the what you're saying lady. Except this probably isn't gonna,
That was an
result
incredibly deep cut, Roberto.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Like, you know what I mean. Like, I wasn't saying you're. Anyway,
We ambushed the shit out of you. You didn't see.
You guys had some really, really great questions. Like I said, you forced me to say basically a straight out lie because you. Anyway, you know what? That's fine. And also, just an asterisk, so I actually don't lose my job. Zelda is not in the game. You guys, please, come on. Let's. I like my job. I like working in games. All right. I don't want to have a bunch of Japanese dudes in black Humvees surrounding my car one night and asking me to follow them to Shigeru Miyamoto's house and have a talk.
When that happens, just ask them, is it Bowser or Koopa?
Oh my god.
I imagine...
It's like before...
Go ahead.
Before you get me fired because you call my boss and tell him Miyamoto says Roberto can't work there anymore, just tell me, is it Koopa or is it Bowser? I need to know.
Which one is it? I imagine that conversation or that scene would play out very similarly to Goodfellas when they were gonna make what's his name and then they shoot him in his garage. Remember that scene?
Oh yeah.
Where he's like in the car, he's like all excited because he's gonna meet the Don and all that stuff. And you're like, oh, Miyamoto, yay! I'm gonna meet Miyamoto, and they just take you off to like the foothills of Japan and just blow your brains out.
Now you work in a mine. Hoped you liked time and games.
Oh, that is going to do it. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's it. That's fine.
That's it. You leave it there before you get fired.
Yeah, leave it there. Yeah.
That's going to do it for us, guys. This has been Nintendo Dual Screens Podcast, which is, of course, part of the Proven Gamer Podcast Network, which includes Trophy Horse, a PlayStation podcast, and Game Stuff, a general games discussion podcast. Also, this week on Jump Master, which is the number one Apex Legends podcast on the internet, I was a guest host of this week, so please go and check that out. If you haven't, please you can review or you could tweet at them and let them know how much you enjoyed me as a guest host. That would mean a lot to me. But also please review this podcast on your Apple service, whatever they're calling it, the Apple Podcast, Apple iCast, I don't know what the hell they're calling it, but do it. If you want to follow us, you could do so on social media. We are at NDS Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Batchild27. Andy is at PantsGuy. And Roberto, where can everybody find you?
Everyone can find us at Sword or Whip on Twitter. We are on Discord if you just search for Bloodstained. We're on Facebook. We are playbloodstained.com, where you can pre-order the game now and buy it Tuesday on everything except Switch, which will come next Tuesday on the 25th. Don't hate us, Switch fans. Worked hard on it. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome sauce. McBossy Boss. You could join our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/NDS podcast. Special thanks to our contributors to Nintendo Dual Screens. We have Zazu Pits of Sourdough Productions for our theme song, Dan Colonna of Dinosaur Machines Podcast, and Hit Buttons Gaming for our Nintendo Dual Screens logo. Thank you, Andrew Douglas, for all our podcast art. Thank you, Matt Murray, for all of our overlays and all that other fun stuff. Remember, you could support our show. Please, if you love what we do, if you like our idiocy, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/NDS podcast. It would mean the absolute world to us. And what do you get with that? Andy? It's easy. It's so simple. For as little as $1, you get access to our VIP, super special, super top secret Discord channel, which you could chat with us, you could chat with each other, and also you could chat with some indie devs and producers and voice talent who are also in our Discord. So tons of things you could do in there. But also, for $5 tier, you get to listen to our pre- and post-show exclusive content, which is a lot of fun. Andy.
Steven.
Before we go, you handsome devil, you.
Oh,
is there anything you want to tell the kids? You want to tell our listeners?
I could announce next week's
Why are you lying to people like that, Steven? I don't understand.
Oh no, he is the devil. There was a result. It was a half truth.
I mean, I was talking about the handsome part, but whatever.
Well,
I am a garbage human.
It was a compliment sandwich.
I could announce next week's guest while I'm here. Might as well do that,
let's
right?
Do it up.
We're getting Lee Thomas of Double Stallion Games talking about one of our more favorite games, co-op games in recent memory, Speed Brawl.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. That was a Twitch game we played for a bit.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, if for some reason that got erased, and if it's not on the doc, I forget to mention it. Please go give us a little follow on twitch.tv/dualscreensstreams. That's
yeah, we do that too.
Yeah, I usually have that in here, but it's gone. Twitch.tv/dualscreensstreams, where every Tuesday we do Tuesdays with Andy and Steve, which Andy and I either play a competitive or co-op video game together. A lot of times we play our guests' games. We do giveaways. On Wednesday, it's When Nest Day. It's really just a throwback to the NES and SNES. And on Fridays, we do Free Game Fridays, which we didn't do today because we're recording instead, and I'm not feeling well. My son isn't feeling well, so I'm not I'm not streaming tonight, but maybe tomorrow night we'll do free stuff Saturdays. But yes, 3 days a week we do stream, sometimes 4 if we're feeling frosty. Roberto, thank you so very much for joining us. I cannot wait.
It's my pleasure.
I cannot wait to get my hands on Bloodstained. Like, honestly, I'm like shaking at the anticipation of playing this game. I got a little taste of it at PAX East, and I'm ready. My anus is prepared. I'm very excited.
Look, it was my pleasure, first of all, and I'm going to say this. If you're prepared, I am doubly so prepared. I have so many things that I wish I could talk about right now. Oh my God. And I'm so excited that, you know what, let's just say that I'm going to be working through the weekend to make sure that Tuesday comes and everyone is blown away.
Would you be interested, and I'm going to get you to say this on the air whether or not you're interested. Maybe you tell me, I'll tell you later. Maybe a few weeks after the game comes out, or maybe a week or so, would you be interested in doing a spoiler cast with us?
Oh, wow.
I'm into that bonus content.
Bonus content. We'll do a bonus episode. It could be whenever you want,
like
on your time. After the Switch game, like after everything's all ironed out, after everybody has some time to play
all
it.
Right, yeah. No, I'll definitely do it. You know what? I'll do it.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks.
We got him.
That's it, guys. This has been Nintendo Dual Screens episode 103, 4?
Holy crap, 103. It's getting up there.
I'm sorry, I thought you forgot to for the week of June 17th. Oh my God, we're doing it. That's it. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much. Until next time, take care. And as always, please be excellent to each other.